A positive times a positive is a positive. A positive times a negative is a negative. So a positive times a negative is a negative. What about a negative times a negative? That'll be a positive. If there's an even number of negative signs, so if there's 2 negative signs or 4 negative signs or 6 negative signs, it's going to be positive. If there's an odd number of negative signs, it's going to be negative. Okay? All right. So the first ones that you'll get are fairly simple. Negative 4 times 7. Well, what's 4 times 7? 28. So negative 4 times 7 is a negative 28. 3 times negative 8 is negative 24. Negative 8 times negative 7, positive 56. And then we get into the ones where there's 2 digits. So if you don't remember how to do that, write the bigger one on top, smaller one on the bottom. 6 times 4 is 24, carry the 2. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 2 is 8. So it'll be negative 84 because there's 1 negative sign. There's an odd number of negative signs, so it's negative. If you have a decimal involved, okay, 43 goes there, 9.3 goes there. Okay, don't worry about the negative signs yet. Okay, so then take 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12. Don't worry about the decimal point. 9 times 3 is 27, so you move over 1 spot. There's a 7 there for 27. Carry the 2. 9 times 4 is 36, plus 2 is 38. So then you add 9, 9, 9, 3. Now there's 1 decimal point up here. There's 1 thing after a decimal point here, so it goes in front of there because there's 1 thing that'll be behind the decimal point. So it's 399.9. Now, since there's an even number of negative signs, it will be positive. The next one, 23 thirds. So we'll do it over here. 23 thirds times 3 over 22. Now, don't make this harder than it needs to be. Since there's a 3 on the top and a 3 on the bottom, the 3's cancel. And since 23 and 22 don't go into each other evenly, it's just 23 over 22. Now, this is positive, this is negative. There's an odd number of negative signs, so the answer is negative. Okay? So don't make it harder than it needs to be. Just cancel what can cancel. Here, again, cancel what can cancel. Now, does 7 go into 21?
No, 3 times.
Yes, it does, 3 times. So a 1 up here and a 3 down here. Does 4 go into 16? Yes, 1 up here and 4 down here. So the top is 1, the bottom is 12. Now, there's an even number of negative signs. If there's an even number of negative signs, it is positive. So it's 1/12. Now, this one is fairly simple. How many negative signs do you see? 2. So it's going to be positive in the end. Then 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 4 is 24. And so we're going to multiply 24 times 30. We just multiplied these 2 and these 2. So 4 times 30. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 3 is 12. So that's 120. 2 times 30 is 60. Because we move over 1 spot when we do the second one. So it's 0, 2, 7. So it's 720. Even number of negative signs make it positive. On this one, does 7 go into anything in the numerator?
No. 14.
Yes. 7 goes into 14. 2's. This 2 and this 2 can cancel. So that's going to be 1 now. Okay, does 2 go into 9 at all? No. So it is, how many negative signs do I have?
1, 2.
2 of them. So I have 2 ninths. That's all that's left over after canceling down. -2, -4, -3. 2 times 4 is
12.
8. 8 times 3 is 24. How many negative signs do I have? 3. So it's -24. On this one, 4 times 2 is what? 8. 8 times 4 is what? 32. 8 times 4 is 32. Then we're going to multiply it by 5. 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1. 5 times 3 is 15 plus 1 is 16. 160. Now, how many negative signs do we have? 3. Since 3 is an odd number, it'll be negative. 8 times 73 is some big number, right? But what's that number times 0? 0. So anytime you're multiplying and then a 0 appears, 0 will be the answer. Okay. So those are your problems that you'll see today. Do not use a calculator because you won't get to use a calculator on the quiz or test. Okay? Don't use a calculator. Don't grab your cell phone quick and use your calculator. Do not do it. I will take your cell phones away and take them to the office if you try to use your cell phone on
Why are
this.
you looking at me? What if we want to check ourselves?
You just do a similar exercise if you get one wrong. You check your answer, and if you get it wrong, do a similar exercise.